Greetings and welcome to the pit.
Hello!
Today in the pit, Herbie and I are looking at some relatable TikToks that you, dear viewer, may or may not find relatable.
There's no theme, there's no storyline here, there's just random chaos brought to you by our FYPs. I love this one so much because I feel like as somebody who has kind of, social anxiety, this is a very, very relatable TikTok.
Let's see, I don't think I have anxiety, so I'm curious to see how it relates.
If I give you a gift, it's because you deserve it.
Huh?
It's because you're my friend, and that's what friends do. It wasn't an inconvenience for me whatsoever, and I was happy to do it. And if you give me a gift, well, you shouldn't have done that. I am a trash person who doesn't deserve such a gift.
No!
I've once again burdened you with my friendship, and I'll spend the rest of my life repaying this debt.
No!
Does that make sense?
No! It doesn't make sense! No! I know some people are like that. Herbie, I'm looking at you. But I don't get it. If someone gives me a gift, I'm like, oh, goody, thank you. It's mine now.
That is definitely like part of my love language. I love giving people gifts that I have thought about, I've taken a lot of time over, that I know is very personal to them. And then when someone does it back, I'm like, how fucking dare you? How dare you waste your time, your resources on this trash bag of a person that is me?
I can't with you. Which I do have a gift waiting for you when you come over to Cyprus, mind you. I hope you don't forget. Hope you're emotionally prepared.
I shall get myself mentally prepared for it.
This one, I feel like you and me, when we're recording these videos, it's very much, this vibe.
Okay, lovely. When you're still trying to break old millennial habits, oh yeah, they're deeply ingrained.
Oh my god, no, like seriously, that is so gay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is so retarded.
God, no.
Fixed it!
The worst thing about it is like, I don't understand why it was just so fine and okay. Like, I don't get it. Like, the playground we are, like, the playground, I just...
We don't talk about the language we used in the playground.
At least the silver lining is we look back on that time and we are deeply ashamed. And that is a good thing, because if we weren't ashamed of that situation, then that would be very worrying.
And we're trying to be better people.
We are. We truly are. I don't know if you can see, but I currently have naked shoulders on display. This is a rarity because, I'm in England and we have a reputation for having terrible weather. However, we are in a little bit of a mini heat wave, which is lovely and would be lovely for most people, except the UK gets about 3 days of summer every year, and when those days hit, the entire country just goes insane because we don't know how to deal with it. And then I saw this TikTok and I was like, yes.
Let's see. So this is other countries when it's 25 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, gorgeous, lovely, wonderful
Pretty
vibes.
much.
Yeah.
In the UK!
Yeah. This is us. Honestly, the whole city's on fire!
No! That's because you guys still refuse to buy fans.
It's true. This is one of those very weird things where it's kind of like a very country-specific situation, but you're not aware of that until you obviously start speaking to people like outside of the country. When I started streaming, I was streaming in summer and I would be dying because I'd have, the one window in the bedroom like open and, I'd just be like, oh God, like I'm literally in the deepest depths of hell. And people would just be like, where's your aircon? Put your aircon on, Herbie. What's going on? Yeah, no, that doesn't exist in the UK. The shops are a lot better with it now, don't get me wrong, but like your standard home will not have AC. The rest of the world have been enjoying this luxury for years. The UK are still like, nah, we're good with that one open window.
Not even a draft.
The window's open, nothing's happening. Oh no, okay, so when you're going to a party after 30, okay, let's see how this is gonna personally attack me. Looking gorgeous. Oh. Yeah, fine. I get it. The personal attack was expected, but still hurt.
At least it's personal to both of us.
Yeah. Also, I just love the idea that she's going to a party. Like, you have friends that have parties? Like...
True, she's still trying. Maybe it's a corporate party. That's the only parties I go to.
Yeah, maybe. Again, this is kind of ties in, I suppose, to like the social anxiety where I overtalk rather than, you know, like retreating back into my shell and being an introvert. I will just feel the need to yap incessantly, and I will fill in the silence with anything that enters my brain, and that doesn't always work in my favor.
Can't relate, but I do love that you yap a lot because it fills the silence that I create. Trying to be normal, meeting someone new when you're a chronic oversharer.
Leave me alone!
Tell them about your hemorrhoids. Joke about when you were stalked. To be fair, I do that sometimes, especially if I had a little bit to drink. Then I'll start talking about things that probably I would be talking to a close friend, not to someone I just met.
Mia, can I tell you a really funny story that happened to me the other day? This was when I was at work. A girl had been brought into our office. She was there for an interview, so this could have been potentially, you know, my new colleague. My manager said, Herbie, I'm going to sit this lady next to you. Would you mind just giving her a bit of an overview about, you know, like your software, like the stuff you do on a daily basis? I was like, yeah, absolutely, I can do that, no problem. And then obviously I immediately do not address work in any way, shape or form. I just start interviewing this girl myself. I start asking her where she's from, like where she lives, what job she was doing before. So I say to her like, oh, so what job are you working right now? And she's like, oh, I'm just a waitress. And I say, hey, don't say just a waitress. Like, you know, I know loads of people that are like in service, you know, in restaurants and stuff like that. Like I appreciate it's like a really demanding job, but like you guys work really hard. You know, you should be proud. And so that's maybe where I should have stopped. But then what I did, Mia, is I said, also, one of my favorite songs is about a waitress, which then got a blank stare back from this girl. I then proceeded to sing, you know, I was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar when I met you. Then the entire room started laughing. I did not do that for comedic effect. I just thought I was having a conversation.
Probably felt like she was being serenaded or something. I came in for an interview, not for a girlfriend.
And then my manager literally came over and was like, right, let's maybe move on to the next part of the interview. I never saw that lady again.
So going straight from your conversation skills to the way that I communicate.
Yes.
こんにちは、魔女さん。こんにちは、お客さん。あなた好き。私も好き。これ好き好き
Mia, how are we polar opposites in this respect? Like, honestly. Ski. But do you know what's really cool? Like, so I have seen that anime a few times, always out of context with like stuff, you know, like with funny things like this. But the animation is gorgeous.
So pretty.
Oh, and look at the fashion. Look at the designs. It looks so cool. Now, Mia, obviously we are meeting very soon, and I saw this TikTok and I was like, hee, this is gonna be us.
I think I even have the same one saved, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I love it so much. Yeah, she even looks like you.
But yes, I cannot wait once again to be the Godzilla to your panicking villager.
Anytime I see something like this, all I'm thinking about is that song from Steven Universe where he's like, all I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman.
So POV, me trying to make new friends in my 30s. Okay, come on, old Greg, teach us.
You ever drunk Baileys from a shoe?
What?
Wanna come to a club where people wee on each other?
No.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Excuse me.
I like you. What do you think of me?
I don't rightly know, sir.
Make an assessment.
I love that clip still lives on. Like, old Greg never dies. It's really funny as well because I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and we were talking about how it's very hard to make friends as an adult.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. You work most of the time, so I like a lot of my friends now are my colleagues, you know. So I mean, I'm lucky because I feel like Twitch has brought me a huge amount of new friends, which is wonderful. But yeah, like honestly, I feel like you're working, then you go home, then you have a day off, and then you just sleep in and have it your bed rotting. Like, when do you have time to be social and make new friends? When?
Never.
Never.
Yeah. And I feel like as a kid, you're much more open, kind of like the two witches, which is like, I like you.
Yeah.
Okay, I like you too.
Yeah.
As an adult, it kind of feels very nerve-wracking to be open with someone.
Definitely.
You're not gonna be like, hey, I actually like really like you a lot. Not that way. I think you're cool. Let's like hang out. I don't think people say that. Very often. It's a bit creepy if you did that.
Now, this TikTok is probably relatable to a very, very few niche set of people. I do have a phobia of butterflies. The way that I found out that I had a phobia of butterflies was when I was a young child. My mother took me to a butterfly farm. I found this TikTok probably about 2 or 3 days ago, and it was like watching that day of my childhood through the lens of my phone.
This is the nightmare at the butterfly farm. Ah! Oh no! At first I thought it was a really like chunky adult from the first frame.
Yeah.
Asleep.
Oh, that one's asleep. Sure.
They don't bite. Don't worry.
Oh, the poor child! Run, little one, run! Oh, bless.
I honestly don't remember how old I was. I think I may have been a little older than like this girl. We walked into the butterfly like conservatory, you know, that big space. You know, you get the doors with the plastic flaps where they're like, you know, like
right, yeah.
Like, so I walked through that and a butterfly just like dive bombed into my face. And from that point, it was game over. I was like, absolutely fucking not. Get me out of here right now. If you are scared of butterflies, make yourself known in the comments. I need to know there is more than just the one of me. Moving on, let's see. So me trying to support my friends whilst barely hanging in there myself. Okay.
Hey, I'm just here to remind you that when life isn't horrible, it's actually pretty good. So if you just don't think about how horrible it is and think about how good it is, then it gets better. Even though horrible stuff's still happening, there's still a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, okay, valid point. There is some good stuff happening. I feel like, you know, sometimes when your friend group or like, you know, maybe there's one, like you have a particular friend that you're kind of both going through it at the same time, but you're doing your best to support each other, but you're both going through it as well, and you're just like, listen, I can feel like shit, you can't feel like shit, and then they're just saying the same thing back at you.
I haven't gone through shit with a friend.
Oh,
I'm sure that's a nice bonding experience.
Yeah, I mean, like trauma bonding, right? I guess it's coined as a phrase for a reason.
Also, like, you know what you should do if you want to befriend someone, you're kind of friends but not really close friends, you should secretly set their house on fire, then set your own house on fire, so both of your houses can burn down, and then bond over it.
Yeah, as you're picking through the ashes of your previous life, but you'll be doing it together. That friendship will never be stronger.
If your house randomly sets on fire, Herbie, don't ask me any questions.
Sometimes I get real sad and feel alone. And when I feel alone, I feel sad.
Okay. Yeah.
But when I feel sad, I feel alone.
No.
And I don't. Hey man, I don't feel that way anymore. What the fuck is depression?
There are points in the winter where, like, genuinely, Mia, I cannot tell you, like, you wake up in the dark, you go to work and it's still dark, you're in your office for 8 hours, the only sunlight you see is if you go out on your lunch, and that's only if the weather is not, like, chucking it down to the point where, you know, you can actually go out to get food, and then you leave the office, it's dark. You get home, it's dark. Like, oh my god, it's vile. So it's actually like when summer does roll around, I can understand why collectively the UK just loses its shit.
So this one is like relatable to me because I had this exact situation.
So how do I turn off the blue octopus? No.
So I had that happen to me one time, like shortly after I got my license. I was driving home and something did not feel quite right. And I saw the blue octopus on my dash and I was driving home and I kept getting honked at. And I was like, something is not okay, but I don't know what.
Something's happening and I just need some help.
So I drove all the way home with the blue octopus and then I asked my husband, I was like, no, what was good? And I just had to like push the indicator thing or pull it. I don't remember.
One way or the other, yeah. Oh man, no, honestly, I feel that, Mia. I feel that deep in my soul because recently the battery in my car died and I had to get like roadside assistance. because my mum, bless her, she came out and we tried to like, jump start the car, but it just wasn't having it. And so the man came out and with the van and all the tools, like I had to get a new battery, and he was like, whilst I'm here, let me just quickly give you like a service just to see, because obviously there's no point in us putting the battery in if then there's like maybe something else that might be wrong. And like the oil, so he put the dipstick in. Yeah. He like wiggled it around, he brought it out, and he was like, you have no oil in your car. Oh. I was like, excuse me? And he's like, look at this stick. There is no oil. Dry. There is no oil on here. When was the last time that you put oil in your car? And I said, sir, I have never done that. And he was like, why not? And I was like, well, because the light on the dashboard comes on when you need to put oil in the car. And he was like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That is not a thing. Where did you learn this from? That has never been a thing. I don't know. He put a whole bottle of oil in my car. He put the dipstick back in. He took the dipstick back out, and it still didn't reach the minimum level. Yeah. Wow, your car was thirsty. Oh my god. Yeah. Is it purring now? Is it purring when you drive? Mia, it was like driving a new car. So Mia, this may be only relatable for people that have seen the film Final Destination. Have you seen Final Destination? I have. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So you'll know exactly where we're going. Yes, that is a Final Destination moment for real, for real. And that dude is just like, I'm ready. So ready. If I die today, I shall not be upset. Take me away, logs. That was me a couple years ago when I had to go on a zip line. It was like really high up. Oh, so I looked down as I'm zipping along, and I'm like, if I fall to my death, so be it. I am content. Sometimes you have those moments in life. Yeah, I just wonder how many other people were like on that zip line going like, yeah, this is great. And Mia, you're just like, if I plunge to my death, I've made my peace. I might not even scream on my way down. My inner saboteur leaving my brain when someone tells me to stop overthinking. Oh God.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Send me a kiss, my wife. Baby, my heart's on fire.
How you can smell the sarcasm.
It's this video. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's so good. It's so true. It's one of those things where I do completely appreciate that. Like, I feel, mental health and like even, stuff like anxiety and stuff. Like, it's just spoken about a lot more openly, which I think is like really healthy and really good. And it should be encouraged for sure. A lot of people still just think like, Mia, perfect example. We will always remember this. We both suffer from chronic migraines. It's extremely painful. We've been through a lot. And we had a mutual friend in our Twitch chat say, just drink more water. I'm cured. It's kind of that thing where it's like, hey, oh, you're depressed? Man, that sucks. Have you tried yoga? That's not how the brain works, just to clarify. Like, okay, this TikTok, I feel specifically for the ladies. Every woman, I fear, has had this comment. And I just really, again, talk about sarcastic, I just really enjoy how this girl responds.
You look tired. Have you not been sleeping? Thanks. So that's actually just my face. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get. I'm still gonna look like this. The bags under my eyes are permanent. I'm sorry that I'm ugly.
After COVID, I just never put makeup on ever again going to the office.
Yeah, fair. It's funny.
Because of things like that.
Yeah, well, it's really funny because I think COVID was, so before COVID, I worked in an office every day, including myself, every day, all the women would wear makeup without fail. After COVID, I now work in a different office, but I'm in an office. I think a lot of women aren't really wearing that much makeup to the office nowadays. So yeah, it's kind of gone full circle.
I like it. It's one of those things where millennials have also kind of banned, or not banned, we made ironing your clothes kind of go extinct. Yeah. Because most of us, the majority of millennials, don't give a shit about ironing clothes. They're just like, I'm gonna wear my clothes wrinkled. I don't care.
I don't think I've ever actively ironed a single piece of my own clothing. No.
I like that certain like societal things are changing with us.
Yeah.
Let's say ironing and not wearing makeup.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so when you wake up before your friend at their house.
This is an experience I'm afraid we've all had.
Yeah. Yes! also because I am a late riser naturally. So unfortunately, it's rare that I'm the person, you know, like doing the sitting and the waiting. I am always the person that's doing the sleeping.
I think though that the older I get, the earlier I've been waking up. I don't know
Really?
if you had the same thing happening.
No.
Yeah, like I used.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely not.
I actually have started waking up earlier, and I hate it. Who's this little guy?
This little scamperoonie. He would like to share some thoughts about work.
Love it.
I'm ready for work. Here's the fit.
No, I'm gonna be doing this for 50 more years. No, not work again. No.
That look of resignation in the final frame.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
I feel that. I really feel that. Like, especially the thought of like, I have to do this for another X years.
Yeah.
I haven't counted their years as of recent, but
No.
it is definitely double digits.
It's so depressing. And also one really sad thing is like, so I have some colleagues that are quite a bit, like maybe 10 or so years younger than me now.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's happening. What's quite interesting is like we have conversations and then naturally they're like, oh yeah, like when I retire, and I'm like, haha, you're not retiring.
When you retire.
Like, oh, you funny guy. Oh man, that went really depressing really fast. Let's see. Hope this new TikTok brings us joviality back. Oh man, so I have never been on the Autobahn, I will say. I don't think I ever would go on it because it kind of scares me. I'm a confident driver, but just like on normal roads, if that makes sense. But I have been humbled. I am a safe driver, I would say. Sometimes when I'll be on the motorway thinking I'm like, especially with the weather now, I'm like, I got my sunglasses on, you know, I've got my 100 gecs playing on the radio, and I'm just like, woo, like, yes, look at me go. And then some like old biddy overtakes me, and I'm like, okay.
And they're always the old ones.
Yeah, me and my friends, we were at like a market square, and we were having food, and there were some cars parked, and this old man, like, we watched him leave the post office, get into his car, reverse out of the space, and just smash into the car that was parked next to him. No! And he just drove off. Did he see and understand what he had done and then just did a hit and run? Or did he just not know what the fuck had just happened to him? Because he was a walking skeleton. And I just think maybe he was like, oh, must have been the cobblestone.
Oh no! Oh no! This is the kind of shit that ruins my day. There's a reason why my hair looks like this right now, okay? I get overstimulated very easily.
It's awful, and it will ruin your day. It's the same vibe as when you walk past a door and your belt hoop on your jean gets caught on the handle, you know?
Oh.
And it only ever happens when you're at the end of your tether, and then it tips you over the edge. Why? That never happens when you're in a good mood.
I think maybe you just don't notice it when you're in a good mood.
Maybe, yeah.
So for my last one, I have prepared something that is a little bit unconventional, but I think still applies.
Okay.
So you and I think we both are not very big on exercise.
No.
And this is something where I feel like we would both enjoy going, and maybe a few of our viewers would also enjoy working out.
I'm excited. Okay. Oh, this is amazing! Holy shit! Oh my god, the confetti! What? Oh my god, I would love that. Seeing everyone move in unison as well. Oh, amazing.
It gives that Lord of the Rings vibe, like we're about to go with the riders of Rohan.
Yes, like we're going into war!
That was all my TikToks.
Wow, was that my last one as well? Whoa, okay.
Yes.
It's over.
It's over. The video's over.
It's done. Bye-bye.